recording. Okay. So the new CCIE, the first paper called core paper, which is theory, equivalent to theory for old paper, which is again $400 to $450. The beauty for this theory or core paper, which is one paper from CCNP. This core paper is from first paper from CCNP, which means, let's say you have done CCNA. So let's say $350 or $354 for CCNA. So you will get one certificate, okay, which is 3-year validity. Then if you're looking for CCIE, there are many tracks. Like for example, enterprise. Enterprise means routing and switching. The other track, security, as an example. So now you have to select which CCIE that you need. Example, enterprise. Then you have to clear one exam, which is called enterprise core. You will be earned one more certificate. One certificate. So you have 2 certificates now. So the moment you cleared one exam from CCNP enterprise, which is, if you clear one more exam from CCNP enterprise, you will be CCNP certified. Plus you are eligible for CCIE. In previous CCNP example, to clear CCNP in old, you have to clear 3 exams. If you clear 2 exams, you will not get any certification. You have to clear all the 3 exams to get one certificate in the old CCNP track. But new CCNP track, let's say each certificate, each exams, you will get one certificate. And any CCNP track, if you clear core paper, so let's say enterprise, core, sorry, enterprise, security, service provider, collaboration, there are many tracks. Every track will have one major paper called ENCORE. Enterprise core. So this is called, in shortly we can say SCORE, security core. Then there are many elective papers. Many elective papers. For example, if you cleared security core paper from security track, you will get one certificate. Then one of the security elective paper called firewall. The other paper called VPN. If you clear firewall related certification, you will get one more cert, which is related to firewall. Plus you will get one common certificate that says that you are CCNP security certified. So by giving 2 exams, one SCORE, one firewall, you will earn 2 certificates plus one more certificate. So the benefit for this, you do not need to completely certify to say that I am a CCNP security holder. No. So by doing CCNP security core plus firewall, which means that you are CCNP security certified holder only for firewall. Because in some companies, the people will work only for firewall. People will work only for VPN. Or a specific technology can adopt a CCNP certificate. Also, the moment you cleared CCNP SCORE, you're also eligible for CCIE. So this is the concept of certification. I'll explain in detail from here. So let's say here you can see that engineering, like CCNA, Then you can see that one specialist certification. This specialist certification we set from the core paper. If you clear any core paper, you will get the certificate called specialist. Plus, if you cleared any respective paper from security like a firewall, VPN, etc., you will get that certificate, plus you will get CCNP certificate like security holder. Then you will have a CCIE, the final expert certification. Then there is a DevNet. This is software related certification. Okay.
Hello. Yeah,
Okay. So we will talk about today a general concept about the complete package, majority. So if you talk about Cisco, or generally, we will talking about networking. The networking, there are two, LAN and WAN, wide area network and local area network. On a system based, let's say I have few computers, which I need to manage by computer level. You can see many vendor called Microsoft, Linux, Sun Solaris from Sun Microsystems, Apple, there are many. When you talk about networking, let's interconnecting between devices, it might be a computer or any edge devices. When you have many devices, it could be anything like a computer, CCTV camera, access control system, anything. Irrespective of any edge device, if you wanted to manage them or in order to send traffic between them, then you need to have a knowledge from a networking concept. So this networking will be, if, let's say, if you want to make a network. So I'm going to tell you that in my office, I have 10 systems, 10 PCs. I want to make them a network. So the first question, what company product that you're going to use? BOQ, bill of quantity. It is based on what kind of design that we're going to utilize. So there are many company product like D-Link device, or Aruba, HP, Extreme, Avaya, Cisco, Juniper, Huawei, many which we know or which we don't know. There are many company product available in the market. So which product that a customer will be select? It is based on the budget which they have, based on, of course, the first criteria, they will give a budgetary task. This is my amount, let's say 100 USD or 1000 USD, whatsoever. Then the second task or priority to consider for implementing the network, the product availability, the product shipment, support, stability, configuration task. This all make matters for implementing networks. So for example, I'm going to say Juniper is better. You're going to say D-Link is better. Someone says that Aruba is better. So the customer will confuse which one the customer should select out of this. Then we will put them why we said best. So a best customer will be taking care from respective points. Let's say if I'm a customer, you are giving me an opportunity to select the product. So one people says that Cisco is better. The other people says that Aruba is better. So the points which I'm gonna mention, that first is budget. This is my budget. Can you offer the product within its budget? Second, availability, stock availability. I cannot wait for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months to get the product. Soon as the product availability. Then support, security. Then stability. Support means if product goes any issues, how soon I get the engineer on call to implement or to get the support. RMA. If product got faulty, how soon I get the replacement. The stability. Once I turned on the device, how long it will take, and the configuration dependency. All it makes sense for implementing a product. Now, coming back to the point, irrespective of vendors, if let's say you're going to select Cisco, I'm going to select Juniper, and I received a Juniper box, Juniper device, or you received a Cisco box. Once we receive the device, we have to have a knowledge to configure it. So every vendor also introduced their own training and certification. Some vendor certification you cannot avail in a flexible mode. Some certification you have to have a partnership, like for example, Extreme switches, Extreme networks. In order to learn more from Extreme networks, you have to have a Extreme network partnership to log into that specific portal to avail those certification and training. The way there are many other vendor like Avaya, many things which you need to go to the specific vendor partnership portal to learn more about them. But generally, all these certifications also available, but rarely people can do this configuration. But if let's say I have an opportunity from Juniper, or I have an opportunity from network point of view, I'm always asked the majority of the certification from Cisco, because the concept, the idea, the methodology, the process, all are quite common for any vendor product. If you open Juniper switch, if you open Cisco, or if you open Extreme, the concept, the idea, the implementation procedures, moreover, same for all the vendors. Certain commands or certain apply methodology would be different. Therefore, we always focus for Cisco certification, and this is widely available certification. Then once you earned Cisco CCNA, even you can flexibly go for any other vendor, because the toughest topic to learn from networking concept, that is called basics. We have two major topic in CCNA. One we call it as a basics, one we call it as a technology. Technology in common with all the vendors. All the vendors, which what I mean that if you go for Cisco, if you go for Juniper, if you go for Aruba, if you go for Extreme, if you go for Avaya, or any different vendor, technology wise quite common for everywhere. So what does it mean by technology? For example, you guys may have heard about VLAN. This is common for everywhere. And the idea why we need a VLAN is common for everywhere. And the usage and the concept and the configuration methodology quite common for everywhere. There is no different theory on it. But when you apply to achieve your theory, the theory is common for VLAN. The VLAN theory is common everywhere in any vendor. But to achieve your theory, the configuration command is quite different based on your end product. Like if you need to apply a VLAN on Cisco switch is different than your Juniper switch. But what you will be achieved after you done the VLAN are common for everywhere. Then routing, spanning tree, STP, some security, access list, VPN, NAT ping. These all as a part of technology. IP address, defining an IP address. This all a part of a technology which are quite common for every vendor. Only we just need a basic idea or common sense to think about where we can apply. But the majority of the topic which we need to learn about the basics. If you received a Juniper switch, you need to know, you just learned CCNA. You completed CCNA and you received a Juniper switch. So you need to know how should I configure Juniper switch. So based on your CCNA knowledge, you can reach a mid of the topic, excluding your configuration commands, because commands wise is like different, but the rest of the topic would be common. So let's say in Juniper, we have JNCIA, which is equivalent to CCNA. And we have Huawei, which is called HCIA, which is equivalent to CCNA. And every vendor have their own certification, which is equivalent to CCNA. Most of the topic are quite equal, like a VLAN, spanning tree, routing, switching, all are common everywhere. So let's say we will start our basics. For example, networking. Some topic we will be skip because it's quite completely theory, which we already knows about it. So we not need to go in depth unless it really required. So networking. Networking means sending data. So do not confuse with only a data. It could be anything, voice, video, data, or any traffic between devices. Let's say I have a phone sending traffic between them. I have a laptop sending traffic between them. This all we considered as a networking. So the fundamentals of networking. Sending data between any devices called as a networking. Then this is just as an example, like when you have a two device, let's say I have a one system, every computer must have NIC card, network interface card, and you have another computer here, which also have NIC card, network interface card. You will pull the cable and connect between them. This is called a networking. This networking we also called as wired networking, because we pull the cable, maybe between a rack, or within a rack, within MDF, within IDF, or within the table, wherever it is, but we connected via cable. Then we called as a wired network. Also, we can do this with wireless. We'll talk about wireless later. If you have more systems or more devices, let's say I have one system here, I have a more than two systems, and every system have an NIC card. Then I need a central product to connect between them. This central product, it can be hub, which is out of scope now, or we have a switch. We have an in-depth to talk about switch later part. If I mentioned two line, then we call it as switch. If I have mentioned to, it's a symbol, icon. Then this switch will have a port. Depends upon the number of ports that it has. Like we're gonna say that 8-port switch. until we have, for example, 48 port switch. So then from the NIC, I will pull the cable to my port of the switch. If, for example, this is 24 port switch, then I can connect 24 edge device. It's not only a computer. I can connect computer, I can connect laptop, connect access control systems, access point, CCTV, or any edge device that we can connect. So this is also called as a network. So let's say here I just mentioned two devices connected via a central product, call it as a switch. Then you have same product but it's a wireless. So it's transmitting wireless signal to communicate between edge devices. Then you have wired plus wireless. Like we have a home-based network, like wireless router from the Ooredoo, which we can use a wired connection. Also, we can use with the wireless in terms of SSID. We'll talk about SSID later. Then the same concept, we have complete system connected via wired to the, let's say, we call it as wireless router or broadband device. Also, we have a wired and wireless together. We can define, we can design in any way. Only the concern that if you have a switch or if you have a device which has ports that you can connect to a system for making them as a network. If the device which you have a capability to produce the wireless signal in the name of SSID, then your edge device can also receive through wireless signal. This is one of the majority of the major consideration we will learn throughout our session. This is just the base idea. Whenever we do design, the concept of the design, which includes either 2-tier or 3-tier or 4-tier network architecture. So if you received any network architecture design, or if you're talking with the clients about what kind of network architecture that they need, we can provide our solution, a proposal in the concept of 2-tier, 3-tier, and 4-tier design. In majority cases, we always go through the 2-tier. Again, it depends upon the customer budgetary, customer requirement. In a big customers will always go with the 3-tier minimum, but the mid-range or SMB customer, small medium based customers will go for 2-tier hierarchy. So we'll explain what is 2-tier and what is 3-tier, also what is 4-tier. So here you can see that your laptop, printer, CCTV camera, all are connected to a switch we generally called as access switch, ACCESS, access switch. So keep in mind, access switch means your edge device connected switch. It can be any edge device. Then you can see all the edge devices connected to a center switch, which is we generally called as core switch, CORE, core switch. The function of the core switch will receive a connection from the external, from the internet, and will forward that traffic to your edge device. Then some customers might have the firewall from your external to your core switch. We'll explain in detail about this. So the minimum design that we always focus with core switch and access switch. Core switch will connect it to your access switch and will receive the connection from your external, from the internet. The access switch always connected to your edge device. Example, you will have IDF. The IDF means the device connected in the a different floor where your edge device will belongs to. Like you have a 3-floor building. Every floor you have a camera. Those camera will connect it to that respective floor switch, which we call it as an access switch. Then you have an internet or the line coming from different building or different or from the internet, which will be having a connection to example to a ground floor. Then we called the switch in the ground floor called core switch. So hope you understood this concept.